Hey everyone, it's BoogeyMan Ben. Hope everyone's doing well and everyone had a nice weekend. Today's video is going to be focusing on some old school BoogeyMan Ben collectibles. This is stuff that I grew up, picking up and that my family would buy me, just like, records and books and things that I was interested in. Even at an early age, I've mentioned in some previous videos that I was always into horror, I was always into Halloween. Just for as long as I can remember. And in this past weekend, I went to my mom's house to help her clean out her garage, and I found a bunch of old stuff from when I was a kid that I completely had forgotten about. So I'm just going to be showcasing some of these things. Just thought I'd share them. Thought it'd be a little fun to sort of take a little stroll down memory lane and showcase some of the things I grew up collecting, and just some of the things that I had that I had completely forgotten about. I'm going to start off with this book. It's called The Art and Technique of Makeup and Special Makeup Effects. And it's called Bizarro by Tom Savini, with an introduction by Stephen King, prefaced by George Romero. My mom got me this book, I'm going to say, when I was in 5th grade. So we're going back to 1985. And this was, I was really into Creepshow and Friday the 13th at this time, and Tom Savini, of course, was one of the iconic makeup effects artists from the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and this book is just showcasing the effects he'd done for movies like The Burning, The Prowler, Friday the 13th, Creepshow, Dawn of the Dead. Just a fantastic book with some really gruesome stuff that I'm surprised that my mom bought it for me, because she was really not into horror and was sort of thought it was strange that I was into horror. But she got me this book because of the good grades I was doing in school, and I remember this because, open it up here, she says right there, and it says to 2885, to Ben for all your good efforts in school. Love, Mom. And the book has some terrific imagery in it from Maniac, of course Friday the 13th with the arrows. You got Friday the 13th, Jason right there. It's the scene, infamous scene where Marcy gets the axe. You have, of course, Dawn of the Dead. Not a huge fan of this film, but I respect it. There's some of the iconic imagery from there. Savini being goofy with that wig on. Then Martin, which I've never seen. Some cool shots from Creepshow. There's E.G. Marshall, bust of E.G. Marshall for the Robert Harper, who played Charlie in Creepshow, and he gets attacked by the crate creature known as Fluffy. It's a great picture of Stephen King with Nate from Father's Day. Just some terrific images. There's some pictures of him creating Fluffy, creature from the crate. So yeah, I'm just glad I still have this. It's a great book, and I'm so happy that I was able to find this in my mom's garage. Some other cool things I found was this Haunted Mansion book with a record. It's old, very old. In fact, I think my mom got this for me at Disneyland when I was about 7. So we're talking 33 years ago. It's got the book with the record. I used to play this all the time. Haunted Mansion's always been my favorite ride at Disneyland. Up a little bit, and then you got some cool. I think this is fantastic that I still have those. Of course, the infamous hitchhiking ghosts. Another thing I was big into as a kid was I loved the Charlie Brown Peanuts gang, especially the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. This is another one of those records. This one's actually really in good shape. It's another with the records and the storybook. Another excellent find that I thought was long gone. This one's not a book with a, it doesn't have a book with it, but it was based on the Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids Halloween special, which I loved as a kid, and this was just pretty much the cartoon on vinyl. Yeah, another one I thought was long gone. Finally, we have this Incredible Hulk record. Now, I was huge into the Incredible Hulk TV show, and I remember my mom bought me this record, and it had 4 Hulk stories. These ones right here: Blind Alley, Monster from the Deep, The Assassin, and Black Chasm. I used to listen to this all the time. I was a huge fan of the Hulk. Some other books I found was this How to Draw Monsters. I remember this was a book I used to I was trying to draw when I was a kid. I was trying to become an artist. I wanted to be a comic book artist and to buy books like this. This has some pretty cool images on it. I'm glad I can find it. I might actually try to draw some of these now. So some of the illustrations look like. Another book I found was this Monster Gallery. Now this was all pictures of famous monsters, and then you could color them. And for some reason I didn't color very many of them. I think I colored 2 of them. But there's some really good ones in here. You have the Fly. You have Frankenstein. Cyclops. You have Godzilla. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Vampire, which is actually Dracula. So yeah, I mean, this is really cool. There were a couple of miscellaneous books I found too that I loved as a kid. Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow, one of my favorite stories, and I loved the Disney cartoon. And I found a novel for I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is very different from the movie, from what I remember. I did read it when the movie first came out. You got Ghostbusters 2 movie adaptation, or the novelization. And this book I completely forgot about, the Blair Witch Project, and this is like a dossier on the movie. A couple of other little books that I found are like this Twisted Witch and Other Spooky Riddles, because I liked anything with Halloween. A couple of little mini comics for the Hunchback and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And this comic book adaptation of The Black Hole, which was a pretty cool find. Mr. Anthony Perkins right there. It's still in pretty good shape here. Another really cool horror book that I found was this one by Daniel Cohn, just horror movies. And I don't remember when I got this book. I think I got it secondhand somewhere, or I bought it at like an old bookstore that had like the bargain books, and I think it was called Crown Books. It's a bookstore that's been long out of business, but this is a really cool book. There's some great images in it. And I completely forgot that I had it or even owned it. Fantastic book. Again, another relic from my past that I completely forgot about. Just right there. The birds. The Omen and Carrie. Iconic image from The Shining. So yeah, just a fantastic book. One I'm so happy I still have. Another great book I found from my childhood was this One Monster After Another by Mercer Mayer. I used to love Mercer Mayer. These stories were really kind of twisted, and they were just fun books to read, and I loved the artwork in this. He did some great art and just had some really fun little stories. I just remember this was one of my favorite books as a kid. It's a stamp collecting Trollisk. A letter eating Bombat. love, like, just look at that art. That art is just fantastic. Yeah, just another great book that I was happy to find. Another cool thing I found was this orange version of the Scream mask. My mom found this in a box, and I remember, I think we got this in, like, it was before Scream came out, so I think it was, I'm going to say 94, 95. And one Halloween, my grandfather wore this on Halloween when I went over there to hand out candy to kids and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a really cool find, and I'm going to put it up here in the horror zone. I was happy to find this. And as everyone knows, I'm a huge Jason fan, and I thought I'd show some art that I did. I don't know how old I was, but I drew this picture. That is art that I did. Probably, I'm going to say, late, like early teens, maybe not even early teens. I was probably 12 or 13. No, I was probably about 13 or 14 when I drew this. Because of the way Jason looks. I mean, I got the severed head in his hand. I mean, I have to put this up here. I couldn't believe that I found this, because back then I was trying to be an artist. I wanted to be a comic book artist, and I had gotten a drafting table, and I started doing all these pictures. And I think this one, yeah, I'm not a great artist, but this is a pretty good picture for a kid. I did a pretty good job on this one. I was very happy with this one. So that's it. I just wanted to showcase a couple of cool things that I'd found in my mom's garage as I was helping her clean it out, and just a little bit of where my Halloween spirit and monster and horror movie spirit had come from, just showcasing some of the stuff I liked as a kid. And thanks everyone for watching this and checking it out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.